And welcome back to the show. Well, today marks the day that the deluxe version of Blackout from Ashes to New is unleashed on the world. So today we thought we would actually get Matt from the band on the phone to chat a little bit about this deluxe edition of Blackout. Welcome to the program, mate.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No worries. Now, Matt, tell us a little bit about this deluxe edition. What can fans expect to hear on this brand new version of Blackout that's out today?
Well, they can expect to hear some of our favorite tracks from the original version of Blackout remixed with some super sick artists like Yellow Wolf and Chrissy from Against the Current, or Aaron Pauley of Mice and Men, and a couple new tracks and a little surprise in there for something that they haven't heard from the band before.
Awesome. So, first of all, let's tell us about the guests that you decided to work with this time around. As you mentioned, you've got Chrissy from Against the Current on there. You've got Yellow Wolf as well. How did those collaborations come about, and how did you come to choose those artists as people that you wanted to work with?
Well, with Barely Breathing, when we originally created the track, we wanted to explore the idea of having a female guest vocal on it. We just didn't know who, and we had kind of had a few ideas brought to us, and we weren't really vibing with it. And then our record label actually brought us Chrissy. We didn't even know who she was at first. And they were like, hey, well, what do you think about her? She's in this more alternative pop rock style band. And we listened, we're like, oh, wow, she's great. Like, the song is kind of like your traditional relationship song, so it only made sense to really kind of get it from both perspectives. So that just worked out so well. And Yellow Wolf, I've loved Yellow Wolf for over a decade now, probably. So I've always wanted to work with him. So when I heard that he was down to do it, I was pretty stoked about that.
So what's it like when you receive a remix back from one of your songs? Because it must sound like feel like you've given your baby to somebody else to raise for a little bit. What's it like when you receive your track back like that from another artist after they've remixed it?
Yeah, I don't necessarily approach my art that way. I don't get overly married to the idea. Obviously, if it comes back and it sounds bad, then I'll recognize it. But I'm more so about, did the artist do good? Does it sound good? If the lyrics are different, does it lend itself to the track? I'm more so about, being open-minded to the art in itself rather than being married to the art that was originally created. So as long as it's done well, man, I love it.
Yep. Now, there's also an acoustic version of Hate Me Too on there as well. How does that work for the band? How do you approach acoustic versions? Like, do you guys talk about how you want it to sound, or do you just sit down and go for it?
Yeah, I think we just sit down and go for it. Sometimes it's more just a stripped down version of the song. Sometimes it's kind of like a remix, but acoustic. This one in particular, it's like, we kind of like remixed it acoustic, but also kept the vocals kind of like edgy. So, I think it's kind of like the way that we write music. It's just whatever feels good in the moment, and if it comes out good, then we'll roll with it. And if not, we'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned as well that there's some new tracks on there. Tell us a little bit about those new tracks and what your fans can expect from those tracks.
Well, One Foot in the Grave is a new track. That it was a new original track from the Blackout record, but it's already released. So, Aaron Pauley from Mice and Men is on that track, and it's just one of those songs we held back because we thought it would be great to have its own moment. And then Live Before I'm Dead is a song that is completely new to the fans. I'm singing, that entire song. It's not something that I've ever done before in the band, so it's definitely fresh and has a different vibe than anything that anyone's really ever heard from the band before.
So what was that like for you, approaching that, being the one to sing that track? How did that make you feel, and how did that come about?
Well, at the end of it made me feel great because I feel like I crushed it, and I hope that everybody loves it. During the process of it, I didn't want to sing it, but Lance kept forcing and pushing, like, dude, you gotta sing this song. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. But eventually I gave it a go, and like I said, I feel like I crushed it, and I'm really proud of it, so I'm glad that I did it.
What was it that made you not want to do it? Was it the fear of doing it, or what was actually the thing that was holding you back from wanting to do it?
I have multiple different singing styles. And the singing style that I felt like that song needed was not one that I had done before. So it was kind of a learning curve. And I'm like, well, Danny can already do this, so why not just have Danny do it?
Yep.
You know, for me, I can sing more of like a John Cooper from Skillet or Adam Gagne style vocal, or you know, like in our song "Wait for Me," it's kind of like a hip hop blended with country style song. So it's kind of like those are kind of like my more suitable vocal takes. And that one, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more grungy. And actually, my vocal in "Live Before I'm Dead" was actually mainly inspired by Lil Peep. I don't know if you know who Lil Peep is, but
yep,
like kind of like a rap, grungy, Post Malone style vocal was kind of like what I was inspired by doing that. And like I said, I'd never done anything like it before, so I didn't know how it would turn out. I think that's why I was more so on the fence about doing it. But I'm glad that I threw myself into that fire and gave it a go.
Yeah, is it something that you'd like to do more of now?
Yeah, I think that we're going to experiment with me doing more of it moving forward.
Awesome. So, I was reading a quote from Danny yesterday, and he said that he feels that this deluxe edition just takes Blackout to a whole new level. Is that how you feel as well?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, like I'm not going to put out art if I don't think it's my best foot forward. I think it's a good opportunity to rehash a great album that still has a lot of life in it for a lot of people who may not have heard it yet, and I think that that's the idea of taking it to a whole new level. Is just, you know, sometimes albums get released and you know they have a couple songs that people really gravitate towards, and then the rest of them kind of fall off to the wayside because maybe they're not focused on as much. So I think this gives us the opportunity to go back and show people how great this record is, and you know how the times with a lot of artists that are really doing this style now, that are, you know, I guess as most people would say, larger than us on most scales, that we hang with them and are you know, just as good if not better, but peers with them.
Definitely. Now, as we said, the deluxe edition is out today, but where to now for you guys? What do you guys got planned for your fans for the rest of this year?
Just a lot of touring, man. Touring.
So tell us about how has these tracks been received live, and where are you headed on these tours?
Yeah, I mean, our set list is mostly Blackout. I know the tour is the Blackout tour that we're currently on, but the album is doing so well, and the tracks are received so well that, you know, most of our set list is now those songs. So absolutely crushed. And, you know, we're going out this fall. We're doing a tour with Nothing More and Set It Off, and then it's us and Set It Off doing a co-headline bill after that. So we've got a busy fall and then a couple festivals in the States here in the summer. So, I mean, it's a busy rest of the year.
Yeah, so like you said, they seem to be tracks that people are loving live. How are you guys feeling about playing them live? Are you loving playing these tracks live as well?
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you now.
Yeah. I was just asking, how are you guys finding playing these tracks live? The fans are loving them. Are you enjoying playing them live as well?
Oh, yeah, man. Full energy. Some of the best energy we've ever had. So, you know, they're favorite songs to play live. But as an artist, like, your new songs are always your favorite songs to play live, too, because, like, you know, you haven't played them 1,000 times yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So I'm glad that everyone's loving them, and I know that they're going to be some of my favorites for a long time. And they're new, so it's fresh and exciting for everybody.
So, for your Australian fans, is there any chance that we might see you guys back in...
You're gone again. You got me on mute, or... You there?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep. So what about for your Australian fans? Is there any chance that we might see you guys back in Australia at some stage very, very soon?
I hope so, man. I'm itching to get down there. I've been talking about it for a long time, so we don't have any plans right now, but our team has been talking about getting down there, so hopefully sooner than later.
Awesome. Well, I know we're running out of time very, very quickly, so I guess to finish off, what would you like to say to your Australian fans out there before they go out and grab this deluxe edition of Blackout today?
I mean, obviously, thank you, but I mean, I see that we're growing in the Australian market, and that's huge. I mean, that's because of our fan base doing what they do, and it's growing globally, and I can't wait to get down there to play the smaller clubs. That way, we can get back and get ourselves into the arenas, man, and just start blowing up in Australia the way we are in the United States.